The values that live quietly in your heart become the loudest voices when you give them space to speak on paper. And that is the thought for today. Welcome to 7 Good Minutes. I'm Clyde Lee Dennis. Thanks for joining me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. In today's episode of 7 Good Minutes, we talk about discover your true self through journaling your core values. Enjoy. There's something profound that happens when you put pen to paper and ask yourself the deeper questions. Not the surface level ones about what you want for lunch or which show to watch tonight, but the questions that reach into the very core of who you are. Today, we're exploring how journaling can become your compass for discovering and clarifying your core values. Those fundamental beliefs that guide your decisions, shape your character, and define what truly matters to you. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how to use journaling as a powerful tool for value discovery, and you'll have practical approaches to uncover the principles that can anchor your life with greater purpose and authenticity. Your core values aren't just abstract concepts floating around in your mind. They're the invisible threads that weave through every choice you make, every relationship you build, and every path you choose to walk. Yet so many of us move through life without ever taking the time to clearly identify what these values actually are. We operate on autopilot, making decisions based on external pressures, societal expectations, or simply what feels easiest in the moment. This is where journaling becomes transformative. When you create space for honest reflection on paper, you begin to see patterns in your thoughts, reactions, and choices. You start to notice what energizes you and what drains you, what fills you with pride and what leaves you feeling empty. These observations become breadcrumbs leading you back to your authentic self. Consider starting with simple prompts that invite deep reflection. Write about moments when you felt most alive and engaged. What were you doing? What values were you honoring in those moments? Explore times when you felt conflicted or uncomfortable with a decision. Often, this discomfort signals a misalignment between your actions and your values. Your journal becomes a safe space to examine your reactions to different situations. When you read a news story that stirs strong emotions, what values are being challenged or affirmed? When you admire someone deeply, what qualities do they embody that resonate with your own value system? These emotional responses are valuable data points in your journey of self-discovery. The beauty of journaling for value identification lies in its ability to reveal truth over time. One entry might show you valuing security above all else, while another reveals your deep need for creativity and freedom. Rather than seeing these as contradictions, you begin to understand the complexity of your value system and how different values might take precedence in different seasons of your life. As you continue this practice, patterns emerge. You might discover that integrity shows up repeatedly in your writing, or that connection with others is a thread that runs through most of your meaningful experiences. Perhaps you realize that growth and learning energize you more than comfort and stability. These insights aren't just interesting observations. They become the foundation for more intentional living. When you know your core values, decision-making becomes clearer. Instead of being pulled in multiple directions by external voices, you have an internal compass that points toward choices aligned with who you truly are. This doesn't make decisions easy, but it makes them more authentic and ultimately more satisfying. Your values also become a filter for relationships, opportunities, and commitments. You begin to recognize when something feels off because it conflicts with what matters most to you. You develop the courage to say no to things that don't align and yes to opportunities that honor your deepest convictions. Remember that this process isn't about finding the right values or comparing your values to others. It's about discovering your unique combination of principles and priorities. Your values might include creativity, justice, family, adventure, spirituality, or countless other possibilities. What matters is that they're genuinely yours, not borrowed from someone else's expectations. The journal becomes your witness as you grow and evolve. Values that seemed crucial in one phase of life might shift in importance as you mature and experience new challenges. This isn't inconsistency. It's growth. Your journaling practice allows you to track these changes with compassion and understanding. As you embark on this journey of value discovery through journaling, be patient with yourself. Some insights will come quickly, while others might take months or even years to fully emerge. Trust the process and trust yourself. Your authentic values are already within you, waiting to be recognized and honored. That does it for today's episode of 7 Good Minutes. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on the platform you're listening on. Until next time, let's be civil to one another out there. Thanks for listening.